This 22-year-old girl hadn't known she was pregnant for the whole 9 months of pregnancy. Everyone was sure this young woman was writhing in stomach pain because of the kidney stones. Little did they know it was something dramatically different. Usually, women have 9 months to get ready to give birth to their baby and become the best mom they can be in the world, but the 22-year-old cheerleading coach Ali Opfer didn't have that opportunity. She barely got half an hour to realize she'll soon become a mom. Ali Opfer's life turned upside down when she got to know her stomach pain was nothing else but contractions, and her kidney stones were actually a positive pregnancy test. Can you imagine the girl's feelings when she realized she was expecting a baby all that time? This woman was born in Ohio and studied air traffic control at Kent State University. During her time in college, Ali fell into cheerleading and even became one of the cheerleading coaches for the university. Everything was great until one day the girl started to feel some really strong stomach pain that couldn't be removed no matter what she did. Ali Opfer had an active lifestyle and eagerly helped her team perform their back handsprings while encouraging their team's spirit. Yet occasionally she had some problems with her period. She experienced painful cramps and didn't know when to expect on flow the next time. One wintry day in 2016, the girl felt super strong stomach pain, but decided to continue coaching as she thought it was her PMS symptoms. If only she'd known it was something much more than a simple period. On December 21, 2016, things got much worse. Ali stopped training her team and decided to take a rest, but the pain didn't pass, and in a few days the girl was laying at home in a fetal position screaming from the pain. It was time to get some real medical attention. I went to the hospital that day because I had terrible cramping. I knew cramps that bad had to be something serious, Ali shared with Reader's Digest. Women who experience painful menstrual cramps unfortunately know how painful they can get. You can't relieve the pain and nothing actually helps. Some pain relievers or a cozy heat pad to lay on your stomach may soothe it for a few hours but won't remove the unbearable feeling for good. When pain medication didn't help and the pain was getting even worse overnight, Ali was immediately rushed to the doctors. Actually, there might be many reasons for strong stomach pains: menstrual cramps, inflammation of the appendix, or even feelings of stress and anxiety that lead to physical symptoms. But what caused Ali, who was an active girl and didn't suffer from much stress or diseases, to have it? The doctor examined my abdomen and found what he called a small mass, Ali said during her interview with People. What did they really mean by this word? To be honest, the word mass instills fear and anxiety in a lot of people when they hear it from a doctor. And now imagine what a 22-year-old girl was feeling when she got that diagnosis. Moreover, there were still a lot of unanswered questions. The doctor scheduled an ultrasound for Ali straight away, yet he was determined that a small mass was a bad case of kidney stones. Luckily, he decided to put the girl through more tests to find out what truly was going on. Even though kidney stones might be extremely painful, they tend to clear up on their own. Depending on how alarming your personal case is, you might get taken to surgery. Unfortunately, Ali was showing signs that indicated she needed medical intervention of the surgical kind. However, the results of the ultrasound were about to reveal something that promptly canceled the doctor's plans to perform a kidney stone surgery. The ER doctor originally thought I had kidney stones, but when they took me back for an ultrasound, instead of finding kidney stones, they found a baby, Ali recalled to Reader's Digest. The results surprised everyone, considering the fact that Ali wasn't showing any signs of pregnancy. Even though this fact was already very shocking, that wasn't the only thing the ultrasound showed. When doctors told the girl what was going on, she started crying from panic and shock. Ali definitely didn't expect to have a baby in her belly. She had no idea what to even think at that moment. Once more, the girl didn't even have time to process the appalling information. The doctors noticed the baby was in distress. They needed to take action fast. I was just shocked and didn't really believe it or understand, Ali revealed to Inside Edition. Ali had millions of questions, but there was no time to find answers. The main priority was to ensure the baby and her young mother were safe. But there was another issue that complicated absolutely everything. Ali's health was also at risk at that point. The doctors found out the girl was suffering from severe preeclampsia, which is a pregnancy complication. It can lead to seizures, strokes, or put another organ at risk, like the liver or kidneys. One more terrifying and extremely dangerous thing was that Ali's blood pressure was significantly high. She was ready to give birth at any second and needed to be rushed to surgery so the doctors could handle the procedure with maximum caution. Once more, the baby was in a breech position. Her baby's feet were facing down, which complicated the whole procedure of natural birth. The only way to save my life was delivering the baby via emergency C-section immediately, Ali explained to Reader's Digest. So the medical team rushed the pregnant woman into surgery for an emergency C-section. There was no time for hesitation with a baby in breech position and Ali suffering from preeclampsia. The doctors sent her straight to surgery to deliver the baby with no additional complications. After spending hours in labor, all the shock, drama, and intensity the girl went through, she definitely needed to hear some good news, and hear it she did. They told me if I'd waited any longer to come to the ER, I'd be dead, she revealed to Reader's Digest. Luckily, the good news just kept flowing. The C-section was a success, and despite a few small issues, the baby was gonna be fine and Ali as well. So, the 22-year-old cheerleading coach had been in hospital for 40 hours before finding out she was pregnant. Moreover, she figured out that she'd been carrying this baby for 42 weeks. Can you imagine that? And now imagine yourself in her shoes for a moment. Not only was Allie shocked by the news about her pregnancy, but now she has to raise a new human for the rest of her life. "I knew I always wanted to become a mom, but not that soon," Allie expressed to People. So, what were her plans for the future? What choices could she make? After calming down and processing all the information, Allie got a chance to hold this little surprise miracle and realize what a huge responsibility it is to bring a child into this world. She always wanted to have her own kids, but was she actually ready to do it at the age of 22? How was she going to handle this big life change? In one of her interviews, Allie excitedly revealed that once the shock wore off, I was excited and my family was very excited too. So even though I wasn't wanting to become a mom for a while still, I was very happy. I've always loved babies and kids. That's a real happy ending. Even though Allie didn't expect to have a baby and wasn't ready for such a life curveball, she welcomed her baby son into the world with open arms. "He's attached to me and I absolutely adore him. He's my best friend. Our connection is so strong," Allie confessed. However, there was still one question that remained unanswered for Allie. As everybody knows, she had no idea she was pregnant. The girl didn't just cudgel her brains about what she was going to do with him after birth. The main question in this rare situation was, how is it even possible not to know you're pregnant during 42 weeks of it? Allie never understood why it wasn't physically shown she had a baby, and the doctors didn't have the answers either. The doctors said it could be because of the way I was carrying or the way my son was in my stomach. I'm not really sure why it didn't show, she further shared. The reason Allie had no idea she was pregnant was that she didn't have any symptoms that someone who has a child would have. The girl didn't really seem to gain any weight except for in her cheeks, but even that she didn't pay attention to. Her diet wasn't super healthy, everything was just normal. What's more, she didn't have the biggest pregnancy symptom, morning sickness. Allie was especially lucky to miss it. "I felt fine. I never started showing, everything was normal," Allie confessed to Inside Edition as she recalled her pregnancy. But there is another question that might pop into your mind. Didn't she notice that she didn't have her period? Since Allie had a regular period, she thought that might be the issue. So to be safe, she had taken multiple pregnancy tests, and all of them were negative. "When I did miss my period for the first time, I took a test and it was negative. And I kept taking them and they were always negative," Allie shared with Inside Edition. This occasion is definitely a rare thing. It seemed like Allie truly had no idea she was expecting a baby while the tests were showing the same. Even if you don't know you're pregnant, there are still some people who would have beaten themselves up for not knowing. Allie's an optimistic person who looked at the situation in a positive way. The 22-year-old girl got a really hard lesson that everybody's body is different, and every woman can handle pregnancy in an absolutely different way. "I always thought there's no way you wouldn't know you're pregnant when I've read these kinds of stories or seen them on TV. It's hard to understand until it actually happens to you, but something everyone should understand is that every pregnancy is different," Allie humbly said to People. There's the next question that might bother you. How did she treat her body during those 9 months of unconscious bliss? Once most women get to know they're expecting little angels under their heart, they do their best to eat healthily, take care of themselves, and focus on their daily habits. Luckily, Allie didn't drink or smoke regularly. However, she confessed that she didn't have the best eating habits for someone who was pregnant. Eventually, she was extremely lucky the baby's development was okay. "I obviously had nothing for my baby as far as clothes and baby gear, so while I was in the hospital and for the first few months, my family and friends went out and bought me everything I needed or gave me things they no longer needed," Allie revealed to People. How sweet. Even though Allie became a young single mom overnight, she had the biggest support group. A full village was ready to back her up and help her raise her little baby boy Oliver. "Everyone was so supportive and helpful when I needed help. I had family members who offered to help, and my mom taught me everything there is to know about babies," Allie further revealed to People. Yes, Allie wasn't ready to become a mom at such a young age, yet when it happened, she realized that Oliver was a miracle child, and one of the best Christmas presents she could ever imagine getting. After giving birth to this little angel, the girl realized he was the missing puzzle piece in her life. On her first official Mother's Day, she posted a photo with sweet Oliver and wrote the caption, "I'm so beyond happy I have this precious little guy. He's my best friend. Happy Mother's Day to all the other moms out there. There's no better job than being a mom." Life decided to challenge Allie in various ways, but her attitude towards what happened to her is beyond inspiring. She faced all the challenges in a mature and grateful way while taking lessons from each of them. It's definitely hard to imagine that life gave Allie only 30 minutes to realize she's about to become a parent, especially when other people have 9 months to get prepared. But with all the support and love of her close people and her own positive outlook, the girl made it work.